and the invaluable feedback that can shape our research agenda and ensure the relevance of our innovations. On the whole, technical universities offer industry access to cutting-edge research, skilled human capital, and fresh perspective on challenges. Our commitment to this partnership is evident in our curriculum development, which is increasingly demand-driven and informed by industry needs. It is seen in our collaborative projects, internships, and the active involvement of industry experts in our teaching and mentorship programs. We understand that by working hand in hand, we can create symbiotic relationship where academia fuels industrial competitiveness, and industry provides a platform for academic excellence to flourish. The ultimate objective of this synergy is sustainable development. This encompasses not just economic growth, but also environmental stewardship, social equity, and technological advancements that serve the greater good. As a technical university situated in Ghana, we are keenly aware of our responsibility to contribute to the nation's industrialization agenda, address youth unemployment, and build a skilled workforce capable of driving Ghana's progress in the 21st century. Over the next few days, this conference will serve as a dynamic forum for intellectual exchange, collaborative ideation, and forging of new alliances. I urge all participants, that is researchers, industry practitioners, policymakers, and students, to engage actively, share insights, challenge conventional thinking, and explore avenues for meaningful collaboration. Please let us use this conference to, one, showcase our groundbreaking research that offers practical solutions. Two, identify innovative approaches to pressing societal and industrial challenges. Three, strengthen existing partnerships and forge new ones between academia and industry. And lastly, let's use this conference to deliberate on policy frameworks that can foster a more conducive environment for research, innovation, and sustainable development. I am confident that the deliberations and networking that will take place here will yield fruitful outcomes, contributing significantly to our collective pursuit of sustainable development. Once again, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you, and may your time in Kumasi be both intellectually stimulating and personally enriching. Thank you, and I wish you a successful 8th International Conference of Applied Sciences.
We are grateful, the first gentleman of Kumasi Technical University. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we have online, I am informed that we have some participants who have joined us online. We say hello to you. And of course, we have our speakers too online. We have Professor Alagidede and Professor Clinton, who have also joined us online. We are grateful for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor to introduce to you an amazing woman whose hard work is a testament and continues to inspire many. A strong, decisive woman who sits at the table of men and her counsel is taken. I introduce to you the first ever female to occupy the position of the Pro Vice Chancellor in the history of Kumasi Technical University. She doubles as the chairperson for the LOC of this ICAST 2025. With all the love that you can give, please help me welcome the beautiful Engineer Professor Mrs. Abena Ejewa Obriyabwa.
South Africa who are online with us this morning. Professor Ellis Owusu-Darboe, the former Pro-Vice Chancellor of KNUST, and a brother. Friends and colleagues from Florida Gulf Coast University, USA. The senior management, Kumasi Technical University. Distinguished participants, both here and online, especially those that have arrived from Nigeria. We are very grateful to have you. Esteemed colleagues, our brilliant researchers, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. I am highly honored to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference on Applied Sciences and Technology being held here at the Sunset Hotel in Kumasi in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Being the LOC chair, I am particularly thrilled to receive all of you here today. This year's conference theme, Promoting Research, Innovation and Industrial Partnerships for Sustainable Development, is apt in today's global discourse on bridging the research gap between academia and industry. And I am positive that this will serve as a vital platform to disseminate cutting-edge research, foster collaboration, and inspire new advancements across various fields of applied sciences and technology. The papers to be presented this year are broken into 4 thematic areas. 1, business and social sciences. 2, engineering, built and the natural environment. 3, health and applied sciences. And 4, creative arts, communication, tourism, and culture. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to provide an overview of this year's submissions. We received an overwhelming response to our call for abstracts. Of the 103 abstracts submitted, I am delighted to announce that 80 full papers were received for consideration, signifying a very strong interest in the ICAST and truly highlighting the depth of research being conducted globally. Following a thorough peer review process, I am pleased to confirm that 55 have been meticulously selected for presentation at this conference. Our reviewers from around the world dedicated countless hours to ensuring the highest quality of content. Our participants, both presenters and attendees, hail from Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and the United States of America. This global diversity will in no doubt enrich our discussions, bring a multitude of perspectives, and foster invaluable international collaborations. For the 2 days we will spend listening, discussing, and interacting, I hope that we will have the opportunity to engage and participate in stimulating discussions. Prof. Chair, the opening ceremony, when we are done, we will follow it up with the first parallel session. The second parallel session will also be done today, and then we will have a wrap-up of today's activities, hopefully around 5 p.m. Tomorrow, we will begin the day with a speech before breaking into our parallel sessions 1 and 2, after which we will witness another conference highlight, a panel discussion on bridging digital divides, a global perspective on integrating generative AI in research and pedagogy. And this will be led by our participants from the Florida Gulf Coast University. Prof. Chair, the icing on this year's conference is the optional tour scheduled for Friday, July 18th, for interested participants to see some exciting places in the Ashanti region. The places to be visited are the Bobri Butterfly Sanctuary, the Military Museum, the Konfanoche Sword Site, and the Menchia Palace. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to acknowledge the Vice Chancellor and his senior management team for partially sponsoring this year's conference. Let me also acknowledge the tireless efforts of our scientific committee, deans and directors, and the dedicated local organizing committee, and all other subcommittee members whose efforts, without which this event, as we are witnessing this morning, would not have been possible. Finally, and most importantly, a big thank you to all researchers and participants. Your contributions are the lifeblood of this conference, and your dedication to advancing applied science and technology is truly inspiring. We hope this conference will not only be a platform for knowledge exchange, but also a catalyst for new ideas, collaborations, and friendships that will extend far beyond these few days. Let us engage, learn, and inspire each other. I wish you all a productive and enriching ICAST 2025 experience. Thank you very much.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Abena Obriyabwa, we are grateful, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to listen to our first speech for this August conference. Our first speaker is a young adult, yes, who is a renowned epidemiologist, a public health physician, a former pro-vice chancellor of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. We would be glad to have you in our institution as well. He has a vast experience in research management, clinical trials, and global health. He has led major projects funded by the European Union, the National Institutes of Health, the World Bank, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. As a former dean of the School of Public Health, he expanded the Master of Public Health programs from 3 to 7. He has over 300 publications. Oh, I thought you were going to clap to that. And this would interest you. He also has over 26,000 citations. Very interestingly, if you don't know, he is among the top 5 researchers in Ghana. Another round of applause for him. He champions inclusive education, capacity building, and mentorship programs, especially for women and persons with disability. Ladies and gentlemen, currently, our first speaker is leading the MasterCard Foundation that is founded by Africa Higher Education Health Collaboration. And he continues to influence policy, research, and health systems across Africa and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I am humbled and thrilled this morning to introduce to you the young adult. Please help me welcome Professor Ellis Owusu-Darboe.
Linda, that is very exciting. I've never had anybody introduce me as a young adult. I like it. I think I'm going to add the Honorable Deputy Minister, with your permission, I'm going to add that one to my titles. And Mr. Boashi, you know, there are some people who crave for for senior brothers or sisters to bully them. You are lucky. You are lucky. KSTU is lucky to have a senior brother in KNUST to bully you. There are those who are craving for senior brothers and sisters. So I think I'm a good friend of KSTU. Those of you who know me, I've been with you for all these years, and I'm happy to be here. The Honorable Minister of Education, represented by the Deputy Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Clement Abbas Apak, the Director General of the CTVET, represented by the Head of Standards this morning, Vice Chancellor and Prof Chair of KSTU, Professor Gabriel Jumo, Pro Vice Chancellor and Chair of the Local Organizing Committee of KSTU, Engineer Professor Mrs. Abna Obriyebua, whom I call a sister because she indeed is a sister. Past Vice Chancellors, past Pro Vice Chancellors, Registrar Mr. Ebenezer Boache, Director of Finance, Mr. Isaac Oswansa, the Chaplain Reverend Alfred Atakra, my other co-speakers who are here, in particular Professor Alagidede from University of Wits, Waterstrand, South Africa. Professor Clinton from the University of Johannesburg, again from South Africa. Distinguished deans, directors, faculty who are here, colleague researchers, faculty members of KSTU, those from the media houses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, I wish you a good morning. I feel honored and delighted to be here today to speak on a topic that is so dear to my heart. It resonates with my persona and is crucial for the progress and sustainable development of our dear country. Promoting research, innovation, and industrial partnership for sustainable development. It is an established fact that on its own, scientific research that promotes innovation in technology leads to national development. It's an established fact. Additionally, when institutions of higher learning partner industry, the level of development attained is not only at a very high throughput, but also leads to sustainable development. Higher education institutions are not just learning centers, but pillars of knowledge, hubs of creativity, problem solving, and the backbone of fundamental research. The reason why we are called lecturers and not simply teachers is in the name. Our basic function is to promote knowledge through research. The world is drifting into a technological village as we witness this through the 4th and 5th industrial revolution. The need for sustainable development is more urgent than ever. Consequently, to achieve not just the United Nations Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, but also the African Union's Agenda 2063, which our governments have committed to, we will need to look introspectively, set the agenda, and promote research, innovation, and creativity to foster national development. Albert Szent-Grodzki once made a very profound statement, and I quote, "Research is seeing what everybody else has seen and thinking what nobody else has thought." End of quote. Certainly, research involves painstaking effort to unearth answers, whilst innovations transform these answers into pragmatic, tangible solutions that create ideations, improves existing technologies and or services to enhance living, boosts economies, and addresses the most difficult challenges that we face today in our society. while settling the stage for the potential solutions for the future. It is refreshing to know that research is the heartbeat of development, and it is where growth begins. Making strides through innovations and sprouts out firms in industrial collaboration is the way forward for our institutions of higher learning. Innovation is not just having a brilliant idea to start with, but it is about bringing abstract ideas to reality, making them practical. For research and innovation to make the real impact, they must transcend the boundaries of lecture rooms and the laboratories, as well as the workshops. This is where industry plays a critical role in driving applied research to commercialization of innovations and, of course, the various startups as we may have it. What is the role of industry in research, innovation, and national development? Professor Chair, the Honorable Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for decades, Africa's contribution to research and technology innovations has been very, very minimal, only accounting for around 2% of the global output. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at a glance, academia and industry may seem to be miles apart in terms of their dealings and the way we work. But the truth is, they both work hand in hand. Academia nurtures bold ideas, rigorous inquiry, and the freedom to imagine without any immediate constraints. That's who we are. Industry, on the other hand, brings those ideas to scale, turning prototypes to products and innovations to impacts. It's not one or the other. It's a continuum in the value chain. They have the infrastructure and therefore reach to bring innovations to life. When industry collaborates with academia, they accelerate the journey from ideas to implementations of the tangibles of science and research, which we call innovations, some of which may be visible through technologies. Professor Chair, Deputy Honorable Minister, industries are instrumental in advancing research and nurturing innovations by investing in technology, collaborating with academic institutions, and developing potential solutions to local constraints, while higher education institutions and government agencies contribute to research. Industries provide the practical application, funding, and commercialization needed to turn these ideas into impactful solutions. Today, many Ghanaian companies invest in research, and we see some of those in various areas in agribusiness. To cite a few examples, for example, the research institutions like Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has collaborated with agribusiness firms to test and implement new technologies, various fields of agriculture. Similarly, the Planting for Food and Jobs and many initiatives have incorporated research ideas. These are commendable. In the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, we, together with government, have initiated several prototypes in agriculture through research. In the area of pharmaceuticals and healthcare, I recall during the pandemic, C19, local pharmaceutical companies, collaborated with academia and produced local interventions to stem the tide as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Companies such as Kinapharma, Don Adams Pharmaceuticals invested in research to produce affordable medicines for malaria, hypertension, and others. Typical representation of academia-industry collaboration is the derivation of antiretrovirals, spearheaded by Don Adams in stemming the tide of HIV/AIDS through innovation for the development of new interventions. There's a need, therefore, for academic-industry collaboration. Strong partnership between industries and universities accelerates innovation. Many Ghanaian companies support the training of students by providing academia develops cutting-edge solutions. It also leads to accelerated innovations Collaborative research initiatives leads to foster prototyping, testing, and deployment of sustainable technologies for national development. Talent is nurtured when academia and industry collaborate. Students and researchers gain hands-on experience, making them industry ready and fit for purpose, while industries benefit from the fresh, innovative ideas that are churned out from academia. Professor Chair, Honorable Deputy Minister, how do we promote research innovation in African universities? Higher education institutions have consistently pushed the boundaries of human knowledge. Their contribution to research and innovation have not only advanced academic disciplines, but also transformed industry, thereby contributing to national development. They are the birthplace of groundbreaking ideas. I must say that universities have contributed largely to diverse fields. Personally, the most profound impact of higher education institutions is in the area of engineering, medicine, technologies, development of innovations and prototypes. Some of us have contributed in the areas of vaccines and vaccines development for cancer treatment, surgical procedures, radiology, and all sorts of areas in medicine and in industry. The mRNA technology behind the development of COVID-19 vaccines were churned out by University of Pennsylvania, where I am a Perelman scholar. This is why the examples of universities working across the continent doing this. Producing skilled researchers and innovations is a mandate of universities. Conducting locally relevant research is again a core function of what our mandate is. Professor Chair, unlike in the past where scientific research was often dedicated by foreign or dictated by foreign agendas, African universities are now prioritizing the studies and research as far as the needs and agenda setting is concerned. Agricultural research, for instance, has led to drought-resistant crops, while medical and scientific research has improved responses to both infectious and non-infectious diseases in the region. It is exciting to know that today Ghana can boast of several research institutions or groups running active clinical trials. In fact, 10, 15 years ago, you could perhaps mention one or two that were involved in clinical trials in our country and on the continent. Today, there's a burgeoning of these clinical trial centers across the continent. Our own Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research in Tropical Medicine, the Kuntampo Health Research Center, the Noguchi Medical Center for Biomedical Research, the KNUST IVI Center for Collaborative Research are just a few of such areas where medicine has thrived and seen solutions. Many African universities have established innovation hubs and entrepreneurial incubators to nurture entrepreneurships. KNUST and KSTU, in partnerships with several organizations, including the MasterCard-funded programs, have turned out 31 business startups, with some currently being managed in Health Entrepreneurships Hub. Similarly, we have several examples in Kenya's Strathmore University hosts an incubator that has supported over 100 tech startups on this continent. So we are coming. These hubs bridge the gap between academia and industry, ensuring that research translates into the real world solutions. Professor Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, partnerships with global institutions bring funding, expertise, and definitely exposure. Despite the tremendous support from Africans, there are still areas where we need to improve by way of funding research and ideations. And this is where, Honorable Deputy Minister, I call for action by saying that while in this presentation I have touted and promoted the need for linkages between industry and academia, I must complete by saying that the pair cannot achieve their aims without the support of government. in the triple helix of government, industry, and academia. And if you are one of those who also believes in the quadruple helix, then you would want to tag in the communities. So it's the government, industry, academia, and certainly the communities. Together, we have the opportunity to dream, aspire, believe, create, and inspire current and future generations to a prosperous Ghana. So what do we do from here? We must make deliberate efforts, take intentional actions to invest in research through people while promoting innovations for sustainable development. I call on all representing the quadruple helix and those who believe in the future of our country and the future of Africa to start and all continue this process. I implore academia to go back to the basics. We have become too teaching-centric. We are supposed to be research-centric. We have to go back to the basics by partnering with
Ladies and gentlemen, please do it better for the young adults. Professor Ellis Owusu-Darboe, we are grateful once again. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce the next speaker who will be joining us online. An amazing gentleman who carries an Egyptian name, Imhotep, which means he who comes in peace. This morning, I am sure he's here to give us a peaceful conference. Our next speaker is a renowned macroeconomist and professor of finance at the University of Wits in South Africa. He is an inaugural holder of the Bank of Ghana, the chair in finance and economist at the University of Ghana, and is currently the executive director of AREF Consult and CEO of the Nile Valley Group. With over 20 years of experience in teaching, research, and policy evaluation, he has held academic roles across Africa and the United Kingdom. He has published extensively, mentored numerous scholars, and consulted for governments, multilateral agencies, and top corporations. He also edits the Journal of Indigenous and Shamanic Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor to introduce to us, all the way from Wits University in South Africa, Professor Imhotep Paul Alagidede. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause as he joins us online to give us his presentation.
Recording in progress.
And gentlemen, and open access. Very well in research publications through the universities and the research institutes, but much more can be done. So the pathology
assignment that has taken him out of Accra. So I'm here to stand in for the Director General, Mr. Zakaria Suleiman, to deliver his speech. The Honorable Deputy Minister for Education, Prof. Chair and Vice Chancellor of Kumasi Technical University, former Vice and Pro-Vice Chancellors of Kumasi Technical University and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the Registrar, Kumasi Technical University, esteemed special guest speakers who are here in person and those who are on a virtual platform, Prof. Chair for the local organizing committee, esteemed deans of faculties, distinguished heads of department, industry players, distinguished invited guests, sponsors of the program, our friends in the media network, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the board, management and Director General of CTVET, I am very much pleased to be part with you among an esteemed group of innovators, researchers, academia, and industry partners to participate in the opening ceremony of the 8th International Conference on Applied Sciences and Technology, ICAS 2025. Prof. Chair, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the Vice Chancellor of Kumasi Technical University, Professor Gabriel Jomo, and the organizing committee of the program for the opportunity to join you in this critical conversation about promoting research, innovation, and industrial partnership for sustainable development. Prof. Chair and Honorable Deputy Minister, the theme of the conference is in line with the object of the Commission in regulating, promoting, and administering technical and vocational education and training for transformation and innovation for sustainable development. The Commission achieved this mandate by facilitating research and development in collaboration with training institutions and industry to promote industry-led, demand-driven curriculum development and placement, workplace experience learning, and recognition of prior learning. Prof. Chair and Honorable Deputy Minister, for truly TVET transformation and innovation requires collaboration with industry, businesses, entrepreneurs, partnership with private sector, and development partners to achieve sustainable development. Prof. Chair, you agree with me that in today's rapidly evolving world, the need for sustainable development cannot be overemphasized. Our global community faces a range of challenges from climate change and energy conservation to depletion of natural resources. But with these challenges also come an unparalleled opportunity to forge new paths toward a more sustainable future. Prof. Chair and Honorable Deputy Minister, in today's business landscape, industries are increasingly being evaluated not just on their profit margins or production levels of goods and services, employment levels, size of their machinery and equipment, but also on their commitment to environmentally sustainable practices. The shift in focus is driven by growing concerns about climate change, environmental degradation, and social responsibility. A shift from brown jobs to green economy is to promote environmentally sound practices to address pollution, waste management, energy conservation, and depletion of our natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, shifts to green economies also require shifts in the skills demands for TVET institutions by introducing greening skills and competencies. Greening TVET can contribute to transforming learning and training to address the need for sustainable development. Educational sustainable development can be implemented in TVET institutions by a framework of 5 pillars. The first one is greening the campus. We can achieve this by placing notices above the light switches to remind people to turn their lights off if there is enough daylight, or when lights are not being used, shut doors and windows when using air conditioning system. The second pillar is greening the curriculum and training. We also achieve this by integrating green skills and environmental knowledge in curriculum such as renewable energy, resource efficiency, maintenance, recycling, reusing, repairing, retrofitting, renewing, and relearning. Then the third point is greening the community and the workplace. We can also offer formal and informal training on installation of solar heaters, operation of biogas plants, waste management, and so on. The fourth one is greening the institutional culture. We also try to involve staff and students to form clubs and societies to create awareness on green practices. And the last one is greening research. And this is the heart of this transition, the foundation on which we build solutions to better tomorrow. Whether we are discovering new technologies, understanding complex environmental systems, or innovating in the way we produce and consume, research gives us the tools we need to address the pressing issues of our time. Prof. Chair, Honorable Deputy Minister, by research alone is not enough. For innovation to truly drive the change, it must be paired with a strong industrial partnership. It must be paired collaboration between academia, industry, policymakers, development partners, and civil society organizations is essential for translating groundbreaking research into real-world solutions. We need to bridge the gap between knowledge creation and its practical application, ensuring that innovations are not just theoretical, but impactful on the ground. Prof. Chair, sustainable development cannot be achieved in isolation. Industry is a driving force in the global economy and must play an integral role. But industry must also evolve to embrace new technologies, sustainable practices, and equitable business models. The partnership between researchers and industries hold the potential to catalyze the transformative change we need. It is this synergy that will enable us to create jobs, reduce emissions, protect biodiversity, and develop the infrastructure for tomorrow, while remaining mindful of the planet and its people. Prof. Chair, as we continue our work on this conference, let us remember that sustainable development is not a single effort, but a collective one. Today, we can foster an ecosystem where research, innovation, and industry converge, creating sustainable solutions for future generations. I look forward to the insights, ideas, and collaborations that will emerge from this discussion. Let us continue to push our boundaries of what is possible and work toward a future where sustainable development is not just an aspiration, but a reality. Prof. Chair and Honorable Deputy Minister of Education, to our international guests and partners, we welcome you to Kumasi Technical University in Ghana. Your presence reminds us that innovation knows no borders, and we look forward to deepening collaboration across nations and sectors for TVET transformation for sustainable development. On this note, I thank you all for your attention and wish you a fruitful deliberations.
Very well said. Another round of applause for Dr. Peter Boahen. We are grateful for your presence once again. The Chair, Honorable Deputy Minister, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to hear a keynote address from our special guest of honor. Permit me to mention some few words of this wonderful gentleman. Our special guest of honor is a distinguished Ghanaian politician, an academic, an advocate, currently serving as a third-term member of parliament for the Brewster South constituency. His impressive career encompasses various roles, including presidential staffer under the previous administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. His academic background is equally very impressive, with a doctoral degree. Hello? Thank you. With a doctoral degree in archaeology from the Simon Fraser University in Canada. He holds a Master of Philosophy degree in archaeology from the University of Bergen in Norway. And a Bachelor of Arts degree in the history of archaeology from the University of Ghana. Prior to his appointment in 2013 as a presidential staffer, our guest of honor was a lecturer at the University of Ghana's Department of Archaeology and Heritage Studies. He also serves as a sensational lecturer and a sessional lecturer, I beg your pardon, at Simon Fraser University's Department of Archaeology before relocating to Ghana. Very well. In his parliamentary career, he has held various positions, including Deputy Ranking Member, Education Committee Member, Public Accounts Committee Member, Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. He has also served as the chair of the Parliamentary Caucus on Persons with Disability. As a dedicated advocate, he has championed several causes, including the rights of persons with disability and the illegal logging and exports of rosewood. His advocacy through his work with the Forum of Governance and Justice is very well documented. His leadership experiences extends to various roles in Ghana, Canada, Norway, including member academic board for University of Ghana, manager Radio University, University of Ghana, board of governor member, Simon Fraser University, Canada, president, Simon Fraser University Students Society, Canada, and president, International Students Union, University of Bergen, Norway. Throughout his career and academic and professional journey, our guest of honor has received numerous awards and scholarships, such as Presidential Doctoral Research Stipend, Simon Fraser University Graduate Students Fieldwork Grants, University of Bergen, and the Norwegian Government Scholarship for students from developing countries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with respect, humility, pride, and honor, I kindly ask that we all rise onto our feet. With a sounding round of applause, please help me welcome to the podium the Deputy Minister of Education, Honorable Dr. Clement Abbas Apag, to give us his keynote speech.
God bless the homeland, the honor and make Hello. Thank you. Thank you to the DJ for playing the national anthem. After all, I'm here to represent government. And by default, His Excellency the President, who himself is actually in the Garden City. He is present in the city today to say a big thank you to the people of Ashanti, and he's going to worship with the clergy. Before I begin my formal comments, I must admit that I felt a bit embarrassed when my daughter, the MC, was going through my CV. You know, most of us who do these things, we don't like it when others are talking about us. But be as it may, I want to appreciate you for taking the time to remind me of who I was so that I wouldn't forget who I am. Very important. One thing that my presence here reminds me is that I am an academic first, before being a politician. And so I am reminded of the first time I presented a formal academic paper based on my own PhD research on the social and economic role of salt in Northern Highland, Ethiopia, where I did my fieldwork. But let me say welcome to all of you, and in particular to our colleagues who have joined us from other parts of the continent and other parts of the world. I believe I can say Machi. Mema Machi. And don't take me for granted. Machi is pretty good. I attended KCC Primary when I lived with my uncle, who was then a police sergeant at the police depot. From police depot, he was transferred to Jachi Pramso. So my tree is pretty good. Since my tree is good and I've said my tree, let me also add the other famous Akan saying that Agrobeswa Ifrianopa. To it, what I have heard so far from the various speakers at this very important conference clearly demonstrates the quality of not just the speakers, but the topics, and all of you who have gathered in this room. We have heard about the need to green research, to green campuses, to green our ideas. So I was looking around to see whether I would find anything green. Then I saw green up there. Then we heard about the need to bring on board community and government to partner with academia and industry. And of course, given where we are today and where we are going, knowledge now knows no boundaries. But it is important that we domesticate knowledge to make it more meaningful. Well, what is the point of knowledge if it is not going to be used to improve the living conditions and to improve society? So we heard about indigenizing AI and, for that matter, technology. A few comments. Since I represent the minister, there are a few important developments that he has been leading. And those developments border on what we are doing here today. Some of the key issues that government, through the minister, is championing is a relook at Ghana's educational system. We have completed the National Education Forum. The report has been presented. And very soon, government will come out with an implementation plan. But even within that context, our emphasis is on early childhood education, TVET education, and STEM education. In the area of early childhood, we are not just looking at the usual numeracy and literacy, but we are considering the inclusion of coding and AI, as well as what we call the social and emotional aspects of training the next generation of Ghanaians. So the minister has been talking a lot about the inclusion of the use of the mother tongue, the local language, particularly from the earliest to upper primary. In the area of TVET, we cannot develop without paying attention to technical and vocational education and training. And yet, strangely, what we have found, and you would all agree with me, is that in our country, there is this undocumented, customary, negative stigma that seems to suggest that those who opt to do technical and vocational training and pursue programs in this area are the less academically inclined. But that is not the case. And so if you look at the recent exams that our technical and vocational students had to take at KTI and other technical institutes, and you look at the numbers compared to those who take the WASI, the grammar schools, the difference is so vast. As a nation, we had below 60,000 of them. And of these 60,000, less than 10% were female. So when we hear females achieving what my good sister has achieved, she deserves a round of applause. So the minister's goal is to mainstream TVET education. TVET education should not be an avenue that is secondary to grammar education. Grammar and TVET should be at par. And let those who have the acumen and interest to pursue TVET education pursue it as a first option. And that is why the minister has been talking about increasing funding for TVET education. So recently he went to Italy and he was able to get a 5 million euro grant from the Italian government. And that is going to go to TVET. He has been advocating for 2.5% of our oil revenue, otherwise known as annual budget funding amount, to be allocated annually to a TVET fund, which he has initiated with the blessings of the president through the GET Fund. So this year, GET Fund has set aside 15 million Ghana cedis as the seed money for the TVET fund. And you would have heard too that we are going to establish 3 new technical.
So we are bonus ideas, sir. There's still hope because.
So whilst we are working to increase the numbers at the lower levels, we must be preparing spaces for them at the tertiary level. So these are some of the things that the minister has initiated and is pursuing. And with the support of all of us, I think that we will be successful. Just before I left Accra this morning, yesterday we were in Parliament. A major statement was made on the floor of Parliament on TVET education. I was there with the Honorable Minister. He contributed and he re-emphasized these that I've told you. The good news is that the whole House agrees that it is time for us to scale up TVET, not just in word, but in practice, and that we find the resources and dedicate those resources to TVET. It is not right for us to have over 900 grammar schools at the secondary level and yet have a paltry less than 300 TVET institutions. And most of our TVET institutions are not even properly equipped. We know the challenge is there, but together we can surmount them. Good. Now that I've said mine, let me read the minister's statement as his representative. The Vice Chancellor of the Kumasi Technical University and our chair, Professor Gabriel Jumo, the representative of the Director General of the CTVET, distinguished guests, fellow academics, senior colleagues and professors, students, and participants from across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, again, good morning. It is an honor to stand before you today on behalf of my minister, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, to deliver this keynote address as a special guest of honor at the 8th International Conference on Applied Sciences and Technology, hosted by Kumasi Technical University. I would like, on behalf of the minister, to express my heartfelt appreciation to the university's leadership for the invitation and to commend you for your consistency and excellence in convening a conference that has become a vital platform for academic dialogue, intellectual exchange, and innovative thinking. The theme for this year's conference, quote, promoting research, innovation, and industrial partnership for sustainable development, unquote, could not have been more timely and appropriate. It speaks directly to the urgent need for Ghana and other developing countries to reimagine the role of higher education, educational institutions as not merely centers of instruction, but as engines of innovation, transformation, and sustainable development. This theme places us squarely within the global discourse on education and development. Around the world, countries are turning to science, technology, and innovation as strategic pillars for progress. The government of Ghana, under His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, has initiated several interventions aimed at transforming our educational system and positioning our research institutions as drivers of national development. This year, the government has allocated an amount of 50 million Ghana cedis to the Ghana National Research Fund as part of efforts to deepen research and innovation across the country. The objective of this is to gradually increase the fund and ensure equitable, transparent, and merit-based disbursements to support impactful research across all disciplines and also strengthen linkages between academia and industry. Universities, particularly technical universities, such as Kumasi Technical University, must serve as an intellectual bridge between theory and practice. We must produce not only degree holders, but problem solvers. Not only graduates, but innovators. To this end, we are supporting institutions that are willing to partner with industry to co-develop curricula, support student internships, provide real-time solutions to industrial challenges, and to create spin-off enterprises that translate academic research into viable business models. In addition, we are working with global partners to integrate emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence into our teaching and research ecosystems. This innovation is just but one example of how international collaboration, grounded in local realities, can produce cutting-edge solutions that are both scalable and sustainable. To the researchers and scholars gathered here today, your role is very critical. Research is not just about publication. It is about impact. I challenge you to produce knowledge that solves problems, informs policy, and improves livelihoods. Let us ensure that our universities are not just ivory towers, but active participants in Ghana's developmental journey. To the young people among us, the students, the innovators, and the emerging researchers, I say this to you. You are the future of this nation, this continent, and our common humanity. You must rise above limitations and channel your creativity towards finding solutions to the challenges facing us today. Whether in agriculture, engineering, healthcare, or education, your ideas matter. Government stands ready to support you through funding, mentorship, and policy frameworks that reward innovation and excellence. As I conclude, I urge all participants to take full advantage of this conference. Let new collaborations be formed. Let industry players identify academic partners. Let students be inspired. Let government take note of your recommendations. And I'm taking note as well. The time for interdisciplinary collaborations, cross-sectorial partnerships, and forward-thinking leadership is now. Together, we can create a future where knowledge drives development, where innovation is rewarded, and where industrial partnerships yield tangible benefits for society's progress. May this conference be remembered not only for its intellectual richness, but for establishing clear action, tangible, measurable, and meaningful in advancing Ghana's relentless march towards sustainable development. Thank you for attention. God bless you. God bless our homeland, Ghana. And may we continue to green wherever we find ourselves. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, do it better for the Honorable Deputy Minister of Education, Ghana, Honorable Dr. Clement Abbas Park. We are grateful, sir. Indeed, research is not just about publication, but the game changer. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Chair, Honorable Deputy Minister for Education, ladies and gentlemen, when I say ICAST 2025, you respond by saying, let's shape the future together through innovation and research. Please, are we okay? Okay, so I'll repeat it. Yes, it's very simple. So when I say ICAST 2025, you respond by saying, let's shape the future together through innovation and research. Are we okay? Let's shape the future together through innovation and research. Please try, please try. So ICAST 2025. Let's go again. ICAST 2025. A round of applause for yourselves. You've done so amazingly well. Thank you. Please don't forget, tomorrow I'll ask again. Very well. All too soon, we are getting to the climax of the first day of the 8th International Conference on Applied Sciences and Technology. On this note, I will call on the first gentleman of the best technical university in Ghana to give us his closing remarks. Please, let's appreciate Professor Gabriel Jumo.
Thank you very much, Linda. Normally, I always say that when you are invited to chair any function or any program, and the program is very successful, you, the chair, you take the glory. And if the program doesn't go on well, you take the responsibility. You all bear with me that there were some few technical challenges when we were trying to connect online. Okay, but that's the essence of organizing such a research conference. Why? Because our aim is always to improve on the existing situation. So I know those ICT researchers here who are into ICT, I think it's one of the areas that you can look at, okay, so that we can improve going forward. There were some tidbits I picked from the presentations and from the speakers. And some of the tidbits, we need to reflect on them throughout the conference. And one of them has to do with research and innovation supported by industry is very, very critical for sustainable development. Any country who wants to develop without focusing on research can never develop. So all the speakers made us aware that research innovation needs to be supported by industry for us to develop. And since most of us gathered here are lecturers, I think one of the statements made by Professor Ellis Ousdabo, and it was a profound statement, was that as lecturers, we are not called teachers, but we are called lecturers simply because we are supposed to promote knowledge through research. And it should be one of the core function, it should be the critical function of we as lecturers. And another profound statement made by the speakers, especially the one that we received from South Africa, has to do with the need for us to create innovation hubs to incubate ideas so that we can promote sustainable development. And I think our speaker from the commission, that's the Commission for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, CTVET, also made this statement that we need to green our curriculum. And we have heard it. Going forward, we will make sure that our curriculum is green. Not green on paper, but it's tangible that you can see that it's green. at least Kumasi Technical University as pace setters will set the pace for you to realize that this is one of the benefits that we have derived from the international conference, at least by picking one of the statements that we made during the 8th International Conference of Applied Sciences and Technology. And let me also use this opportunity as the chairman. And when you are the chairman, I want to exclude the minister because it will be very difficult to include the minister in the statement that I'm going to make. Sometimes you need to be very careful when you are making certain statements. When you are the chairman, you are the father for all of you gathered here. Okay, some of you might be older than me, but I'm the father, with the exception of the minister, because I need to be very careful. Okay? And as the father of those gathered here, I want to use this opportunity to thank the government by securing over 5 million euros based on a presentation from the minister to support TVET. Apart from that, we also heard from the minister that, and in fact it's obvious, the publications all over, that the research fund board has been inaugurated and a seed money of 50 million Ghana cedis has been earmarked for this year's research fund. I think it is something that we need to applaud the government for at least promoting research in this direction. Now, let me also say that this is just the beginning, and this is just the opening. After the opening, the conference will continue, and there will be plenary sessions. So I urge all of you to stay and witness the presentations that will be made by the researchers. And to the researchers or to the participants, please, the Friday activity is very, very critical, very, very important. Because for somebody from human resource management background, work-life balance is very, very, very important. After all the work that you have done, at least you must balance it with social activities. So that Friday activity, please stay around and participate. On that note, thank you all for making my job easy.
Indeed, all work and no play. Yes, we are all going on Friday to visit sites and to release some tension and pressure. We are grateful, sir, once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take our vote of thanks. We'll receive our vote of thanks, and to do us the honors, we have Mrs. Edna Bia Bediako from Kumasi Technical University to do this for us. A round of applause for her, please.
Thank you, Linda. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to stand before you today to express our utmost gratitude to everyone who has made this conference possible. To the esteemed keynote speaker, the Deputy Minister for Education, Honorable Dr. Clement Park. Your presence is a testament to the government's commitment to technical education. Your expertise and thought-provoking address have enriched our understanding and sparked meaningful conversations. We appreciate your willingness to share your knowledge and presence with us this morning. To the Vice Chancellor of Kumasi Technical University, Professor Gabriel Jumo, your leadership and commitment to ensuring that the vision of ICAST remains relevant, leading to the successful organization of the 8th edition of ICAST. Prof, we are grateful for keeping the vision of ICAST alive. To the former Pro-Vice Chancellor of KNUST, Professor Ellis Owusu-Dabo, Sir, we are grateful for your insightful address and setting the tone for a conference that promises to inspire, invoke, and reshape relevant scientific and related ideas. Professor Alagidede,
We appreciate your insights and deep thoughts shared with us. We will certainly implement some of your ideas. To the representative of the Director General of CT Vet, Dr. Peter Boahen, thank you for gracing this conference with your distinguished presence. We know that KSTU can count on your dedicated support. To all senior management members, former key officers, deans and directors, HODs, both teaching and non-teaching, all KSTU staff present, and students here, your support and presence are highly appreciated. We are grateful. To the local organizing committee, your tireless efforts and meticulous planning have ensured a seamless opening ceremony. Your dedication to excellence is evident in every detail we have witnessed today, and we are grateful for your hard work and commitment. To our dear participants, your diverse perspective, expertise, and enthusiasm. Your presence is what made this ceremony memorable. I wish us all a fruitful conference filled with innovative ideas and solutions. Thank you, and let the conversations begin.
Grateful Mrs. Edna Bia Bediako. Ladies and gentlemen, before the closing prayer, we would kindly want to inform you that right after the prayer, we'll be having sections for photography. So please don't be in a hurry to leave the auditorium. We want to take pictures for memories, So please kindly bear with us and let's do this beautifully. All right. With that being said, please help me welcome the University Chaplain to bless us with a prayer. A hand of applause for Reverend Alfred Atakra.
Thank you very much. Since this is the last item, I would like if we can be on our feet so that after this, we will not sit again. Thank you very much. Let's pray. Gracious God, we thank you. We bless your name. We are most grateful unto you for the life, for the ideas shared, for the information passed on to us, and for making it possible for us to open officially our 8th ACAS conference. We thank you for the gift of life and everything that we have today. Even as we are bringing down the curtain for this official opening, we ask that you bless us with the Spirit to be able to go through the rest of the activities. We pray committing all those who have been able to help us, especially our guest speakers, the insight given unto us. We commit them into your hands, O God. Even as they are going back, we ask that you grant them the traveling mercies. We pray committing our nation into your hands. Oh Lord, there is so many things that we are thankful for, and we cannot ignore what you have been given unto us. But we are still asking for more, O God. The peace, the development, especially our educational journey in our country. Bless our president. Bless all those who are helping him to steer the affairs of this nation, even as he is here in our region. We pray that your grace will be sufficient unto us all. In the name of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I say, go in peace and transform our nation with research and innovation, and the Lord will help you wherever you find yourself. Amen.
We are grateful. Please, with the exception of the dignitaries, can we all kindly sit back? Can we all sit? Thank you very much. I am informed by the LOC that we have packed snack downstairs for all participants. So please, kindly be patient with us. And please, this is an order for you.
The Bible says it's a good thing to give thanks to the Lord. Amen. You ready to do that today? I come before you today. And there's just one thing that